Hey everyone, welcome back to Auto Car, where we dive deep into the world of classic and modern vehicles, bringing you the stories, the specs, and the soul behind the steel. Today we're going back in time to take a closer look at a true American icon, a truck that helped shape what we think of when we hear the word pickup, the legendary 1957 Ford F100 4x4. Now, the F-Series from Ford has always had a rich heritage. But 1957 marked a year of serious transformation. This wasn't just a facelift. It was a rethinking of what a pickup truck could be. This was the first year Ford trucks featured that signature clamshell hood, integrated front fenders, and that clean, squared-off design that really gave it a bold, confident look. It was aggressive, tough, and made for business, but also had enough style for suburban driveways. What makes the 57 F100 even more special is the introduction of the factory 4x4 option. Up until this point, if you wanted a four-wheel drive Ford truck, you had to go aftermarket. Companies like Marmon Harrington were converting these trucks for special use, think fire departments, forest service, and other heavy-duty applications. But in 57, Ford decided to bring the 4x4 option in-house, teaming up with Spicer to deliver a rugged, go-anywhere system right from the dealership. That factory 4x4 makes this particular F100 stand out even more today. It was rare back then, and it's even rarer now. Most of the 1957 models you see out there are rear-wheel drive. But when you spot one that's rocking the factory four-wheel drive setup, you know you're looking at something special. Let's talk power. Under the hood, the 57 F100 offered a few different engine choices. You could get the 223 cubic inch inline six, which was reliable and economical, or go for more muscle with the 272 or 292 cubic inch Y-block V8s. That 292 V8 was no joke, pumping out around 186 horsepower, which was pretty solid for the time. And let's not forget the sound. There's something about an old-school V8 idling through a steel exhaust that just hits different. It's raw, it's mechanical, it's honest. Now, pair that with the 4-speed manual transmission in a solid transfer case, and you've got a truck that was built to climb, crawl, and conquer. The Dana axles front and rear were tough as nails, and when engaged, that 4x4 system gave drivers the confidence to tackle just about anything, whether it was a muddy trail, a snowy road, or a steep incline out in the backcountry. But here's the thing, the 1957 Ford F100 wasn't just a workhorse. Ford was starting to realize that Americans wanted trucks that could double as daily drivers. That meant comfort started to matter. Inside the cab, things got a little more refined. You had a bigger windshield, a more stylish dashboard, and upgraded trim options. Some models even came with two-tone paint jobs and chrome accents, making them look just as good pulling up to a Saturday night diner as they did hauling lumber on the job site. And that style, man, it still holds up today. The front grille, with its wide, horizontal bars and inset headlights, gives off a tough but friendly face. The proportions are classic, the lines are clean, and the stance, especially on the 4x4 model, is just right. It sits a little taller, a little prouder. It looks ready for anything, and that's because it was. Let's talk about the ride. Is it smooth like a modern F150? Of course not, but that's part of the charm. Driving a 57 F100 4x4 today is like stepping back in time. You feel everything, the road, the engine, the gear changes. You've got manual steering, manual brakes, and if you're lucky, a bench seat that's seen a few decades of sun and stories. It's mechanical in the best way. Every drive is a hands-on experience. It demands your attention, and it rewards you with a sense of connection that modern trucks sometimes miss. Now, for collectors and restorers, the 1957 F100 4x4 is kind of a holy grail. Because not only is it rare, especially in original or well-restored condition, but it also represents a turning point. It's the bridge between the early, utilitarian pickups of the 40s and 50s, and the more refined, consumer-focused trucks of the 60s and beyond. When people restore these trucks today, you'll see a few different approaches. Some go full original, bringing it back to factory specs with period-correct paint, wheels, and interior. Others go the resto-mod route, maybe upgrading the drivetrain with a modern V8, adding power steering and disc brakes, and giving it a more comfortable ride while keeping that vintage look. Either way, you can't lose. These trucks have the bones, the beauty, and the brute strength to turn heads and pull trailers. One of the coolest things about the '57 Ford F100 4x4 is how it brings people together. Take it to a car show, and watch what happens. Folks stop. They reminisce. They tell stories about how their dad or granddad had one just like it. Maybe they rode in the bed as a kid, or learned to drive behind that big, steel steering wheel. It's more than a truck. It's a time machine. And in today's world of plastic body panels and electronic everything, there's something grounding, something refreshing, about a vehicle that's made of real metal and real muscle. So if you're lucky enough to own a 1957 F100 4x4, you've got a piece of history in your hands. And if you're in the market, be ready to hunt, and don't be surprised if the price is as bold as the truck itself. They're getting harder to find, especially in good shape. But for the true enthusiast, it's worth every penny. Alright folks, that's it for today's deep dive into the 1957 Ford F100 4x4. If you enjoyed this journey into classic truck territory, hit that like button, drop a comment with your favorite classic pickup, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories from the road, the shop, and the heart of American motoring. Thanks for riding with us today on Auto Car. We'll see you in the next one.